For the win! Oh, it is Funky Friday. And who was first to the chat? Hold on, I'm going to roll the chat back up here so it's in the video. Franklin Dominguez. Oh, number one. 5 days in a row. 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5. 5 days in a row. Frank Dominguez, number one into the chat. Number one in our hearts. Number one in the charts. Right? Is that how that goes? Number one in our hearts. Number one in the charts. With a bullet. Number one with a bullet. Oh. My gatos. Oh, my gatos negros. That's 5 days in a row. Frank was number one to the chat, and I can't believe it. And it just ends up being this Dancy Pants Friday action 5 days in a row. I can't believe it. He's got his notifications turned on. He knows what's happening. He knows that it's 4 o'clock or whatever time, wherever he is. He's Johnny on the spot. He's Frankie on the spot. Oh, I forgot my coaster, you guys. Sorry. I'm clanking around on the table over here. Just warming it up here. Oh, I guess I'll use this napkin as a coaster today because I don't know where my coaster went. I don't know. Somewhere. It's chaos here, my friends. But let's say hi to everybody else in the chat real quick. Tim Lewis is here, the lone aquarist. What's up? Zelf Ernide. Zelf Ernide. I'm wondering if that's like an actual name or it's something I'm not getting. I don't know. Zelfer Knight, what's up? The Fish Life. Candy Overhauls is here. Wushu Jimmy Brown. He will be highlighted later in the show. The Bearded Fish Keeper is here. I hope to meet that guy sooner than later. Miguel Camacho, if that's the right Bearded Fish Keeper I'm thinking of. Is that the right Bearded Fish Keeper? I think that is the correct Bearded Fish Keeper. Maybe. I don't know. That might be him. I think so. Let's see. Yes. Maybe? Confusion. Confusion on my behalf. We'll see if that's the right Bearded Fish Keeper. The one that's been working on the aquariums up at Corey's place. If so, then I'll probably be meeting him fairly soon, which would be cool. Miguel Camacho's made it here. Whoa, Sombra 00, what up? Death Nova's here. Long time no see. Sky Astara, what's up? Said the Lone Aquarius. The Fish Life is here. What are you doing? Danny's Aquariums, how you doing? I saw you earlier. Said hi to Danny earlier. If you haven't checked out his channel and you're in our chat, go ahead and just click the little 3 dots at that when you hover your mouse over his icon and give him a quick sub real quick. Glass Boxes is here. V-Stag is here. Also a good channel. The Pickled Placostomus also. Ella Gregory is here. I'm gonna scratch my belly, so hopefully that's off camera here. Let's see. Mary Beth Mabe is here. How you doing? Here on my phone, but here nonetheless. That's cool. You can watch on your phone. You can watch on your tablet. You can watch on your fancy, home computer. You could, you could watch on whatever. I think, one of those like an old coffee can with a string on it. I think that works, right? Lisa C is here. Hail the weekend. I finally don't have to wake up early tomorrow. Missed almost a whole week of streams. Sad face. not a big deal because they upload as a video later. Remember that. You can always watch these over the weekend. I think everybody's do. Mine does. Corey's does. Flips does. I think everybody's streams upload after the fact. So remember, you could just watch them over the weekend and catch up on what's going on. Sergeant Tanks here. What's up, Sergeant? How you doing? Hopefully you got your smoke detector fixed, or at least just added a battery to it so it stopped beeping in the background. Wushu Jimmy around, but not #1 in our wallets. Oh, I get it. Let's see. SC Aquatics is here. Cute Nix, how you doing? Dean H, what's going on, my man? Ryan Brown, SC Aquatics. Big Pedro is here. Yeehaw! It's a Friday action. Yes, it's a Friday action. Frank's has the he has the super interwebs connection. That's right. I think we were pretty much coming down to the agreement that he's probably got like 5 gig internet or something crazy, some kind of space age NASA technology. Pretty funny stuff out there. Oh, I got some people commenting over here on Mr. Chips' picture on the Facebook. Yeah, I posted a picture of Mr. Chips today onto the Facebook. And he's right back here. You can see the 2 dog beds back there. Biddy was back there, but she gets up and wanders off. And Mr. Chips has decided to sit right next to me, lay down right next to me on the ground. Quick Chips update. Apparently the pain pills are working. He's a big pill head now, but he seems to be moving around and not in quite as much pain as he was in. As I said, we won't have any kind of doctoral prognosis on what's happening with him until Monday, because we'll take him to his what do you call it, primary care provider, and we'll find out what is going on, if they're going to do some x-rays or not, and see what's happening with little buddy guy there. Biddy Browns is doing fine. She ran full steam into the doggy door earlier today. She didn't know that it was closed, and freaked out me and Mr. Chips. But she was otherwise just went like, hey man, what the hell? What was that? So she's doing fine. That was her little traumatic thing. The Pickled Placostomus is asking, so do you stream at this time every day, or what's your schedule? Monday through Friday, the stream is live 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Sometimes we stay a little bit later because some people do the extension super chat thing, which I don't necessarily ask people to do that. If you want to do that, you can. If not, that's all good. The easiest way to support the show continuing on is by going to the Patreon. The Patreon page, which is the easy month. You know, you can do a monthly subscription, $1, $5, whatnot. And you can always change it. And that was something I wanted to talk about today. We lost a patronizer, which sucks. But the thing that sucks about it is not that somebody had to just, not patronize anymore. It said they didn't do the exit interview. That's the big thing that would be really helpful for me, that if you do decide to eliminate your patronization, just let me know why. I mean, it could be a quick 1 sentence, 2 sentence, something along those lines. There is a little exit interview as to why you no longer want to be a patronizer, whatever, however, I call it patronizers. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when I say that, but it's the people that are helping fund the show. So you can pop onto that, take a look. There's a community tab on there that you can put questions on, pictures on, all that kind of stuff, and do all, and that will generally end up to the show here. There is one thing on there that no one has done yet, and that's the $100 a month. You get to be a producer, and I'll make a video. We'll do a whole stream on a topic that you want to do, which I'll admit it that I'll probably put a little more work into that, because I'll have a lot more run-in time, if that makes sense. So right now I kind of do things sort of a day ahead instead of day of or anything like that, but that's the whole reason for that one there. That's, you get the producer credit and that kind of stuff, but it's just it's kind of a basic reward that if you're kicking in that much, I'll do a video on whatever you want to do. Dr. Red Pill is here. What's up? Let's see. Lol at Frank Dominguez. One day you'll drop down and whisper surprises. That would be pretty funny. Actually, I was in the attic earlier today, so I know he's not up there. It would be pretty cool if there was just a Frank Dominguez up there. No one else. Only a Frank Dominguez. It would be cool if there was Frank up in the attic. He could help me redo some of the wiring I got to do up there. Let's see. So, and I think we hit that for the Pickled Placostomus. Do you stream at this time every day? It's this time every day, Monday through Friday. It's 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So whatever that relates to your time zone, then we'll what's that? Then you can just figure it out and set a timer. Oftentimes I have alarms set in my phone. I have alarms set in my phone that go off all day long and tell me what I need to be doing at, like, you know, it's 1:15, time to, I don't know, change your socks or something. I don't know. So that, so yeah, if you could just relate it to that. I don't know what it is, GMT. I'm not sure what it is related to wherever everyone's time is. I know everybody posts every once in a while. People post the GMT time, and it's always like, you know, whatever minus, you know, it's always super confusing. But the goal is to do more shows down the road here. It came up earlier when I actually was on Flip Aquatics Rob's live stream. It popped up. I happened to be working in the office at the time. I was like, flip that on while I was working here. And he was like, oh yeah, he was doing an early one for basically all the European people, because, you know, this time of day really eliminates a lot of the European people, because it's pretty late night there right now. So like, I believe that if you're in like the Netherlands, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And it just keeps getting worse the more east you go. So at some point in time, I wish to try and do more of these shows, like an early one and a late one, and try and do it that way. But right now, this is the time slot that we're in. Sergeant Tank says he burned the hell out of it. Yeah, that smoke detector, you should have just burned that thing. You should lit it on fire and throw it out the window. Replace it with one with a battery in it. I'll tell you, as a sound guy, as a sound tech dude, there is nothing worse than shooting and having a smoke detector going off in the background, and it's like hashtag triggered. I mean, not to make fun of anybody who's actually triggered, but when the smoke alarm beep goes off, it immediately freaks me out. I just go, oh, God damn it! You know, and I freak out, and I go, who doesn't have the battery in the smoke detector? It drives me completely nuts. One of the main reasons I couldn't stay on your stream with Corey on there, I was on there for about 5 minutes. That's all I could take. It's like that beeping. It's like that drives me nuts. So, and understandably, there are a lot of people like me that it drives them nuts. So they sort of, what's the word? They're all going to be messaging you forever on that, because the audio will always be tainted by that every 30-second beep. All right. So Bare Bottom Aquatics is here. Oh, lateness so lame. Well, you're not late. You're not that late. You're only about 10 minutes late. Luckily, you got about 50 minutes. 50 minutes left. We haven't even gotten to the video portion yet, because we've just been screwing around because it's Friday. We got some questions to answer. I'm also catching up on the live chat here. Just remember that the easiest way to get a question into the live chat is the super chat thing, because the chat goes by pretty quick, and then I'm trying to read it as best I can while still doing stuff. I'm surprised nobody asked about the rainbow fish that actually has some paint on it drying finally. I finally got a layout that I liked better than the previous. And actually I'm kind of working on a different style on this rainbow fish. than my typical style. It's going to be kind of comic booky. I'm going back old school. I'm going back old school to when I used to do a lot of pen and ink stuff, comic book style art. I used to do that all the time. But I'm going to minus the cross hatching. I'm not going to be doing a bunch of cross hatching in this. I'm going to try some old technique with new materials. So I'm going to be using some different paint on this to do some different blends to try and get the rainbow fish to look extra super dope. And then I'm undecided if I'm going to keep the background white or black. I'm not 100% sure yet, so we'll figure that out and probably consult the customer. And I noticed that Flip Aquatics is in the chat here. We were texting yesterday to email me something. I'm going to mention it real quick. Email me that something that I was talking to you about. Go do that now. You're obviously either at your computer or something. Or get your wife to do it. Either way, that'll be fine. All right. Let's see. I'd be completely screwed without my phone alerts. Yeah, that's definitely a big deal for me. Bracken is Najas Guadalupensis. Naja grass is what most people call it. Guppy grass, yes. Najas Guadalupensis. Yes, it is the same as Guppy Grass. A lot of people call it the street name, you know, out on the street. You're like, hey man, you got a bag of Guppy Grass, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got a bag, you holding some Guppy Grass. That is what they call that. A lot of people call it Guppy Grass. Yes, it has a bunch of names, and I feel like it is a very underappreciated plant in the aquascaping community. It can become a little bit chaotic. It is a fast grower, and we'll get over all that stuff. But yes, it is the same stuff, and I happen to get some because, as you guys know, Potato brought up the big old colony of cherry shrimp, and he brought a ball of it, and I was like, well, there's one thing I could do with this. Or two things I could do with it. I could compost it, or I could plant it somewhere. And the last thing I want to do is just leave it growing in my sump when I could utilize it and get more green going on in the 150. So that's what's going on today. That is the video of today, is me kind of planting, and of course we'll keep it hot and loose because it is Friday. So remember, it is Friday, so we're not strictly on a schedule 100%. We don't have to actively do anything as far as the schedule goes, but you know, we'll stick to pretty close to what normally happens, what normally goes on around here. All right, so hold on a second. I'm trying to bring up the where's the community? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna run through the YouTube comments today. And we'll run through, where did it go? We have to start right about here. All right, yeah, so starting out on Monday. Is that Monday? Yes, that's Monday there. From Little Largemouth, have you tried tea tree toothpicks? They're delightful. Yes, I've tried tea tree toothpicks before, and they are delightful. Not my style, though. Not my style to have that flavor. Kind of bugs me, realistically. You know, it's one of those things. I've tried them. The flavored toothpicks aren't for me. I like the flavor of the wood. It's just like cheap, crappy wood toothpicks. I like the flavor of those for whatever reason. Probably because I'm a nutcase. So, but I have tried them. Cynthia Damron wrote in, you can rent airplanes. I think it's a cost-effective way to fly. Cynthia, yes, that was kind of the whole point of us going with that on that flight from with the instructor, is that his the plane that we are flying in is part of a club, so it's actually the expense of the plane is dispersed throughout the club, and you can actually rent seat time much cheaper from those guys than you can from just going to pilot school, right? Because you basically go get your learner's permit, which is a little bit expensive, and then it's just get your butt in the seat and fly around. You have to log all these hours in order to say that, like, look, I've flown for X amount of hours. I don't know how much it is off the top of my head. I don't know. But you have to just log a bunch of hours and then go like, look, I'm super adept at flying. Let's go take the test. Sort of just like driving a car, but more complicated because you have to, go up in the sky and call people on the radio and try and read maps while you're flying and not crashing, right? So, but that was kind of the point of that group that we went up with, is that it can be much more cost effective to log all those hours instead of going through a school. So like and these are just hypothetical numbers, right? So if a school charges $300 an hour, maybe these guys charge $100 an hour or something, Maybe it's like a third of the cost, whatever the hell that works out to. So it might be worthwhile. We're hopefully... We'll see if we can get Vicky to get into some pilot classes. It would be pretty fun. She was super good at it, too. So, Glass Boxes wrote in that it's unfair that I can't have shrimp in New Zealand. Hobbit land. And you're right. That is unfair. Although the ecosystem in New Zealand has been so grotesquely screwed with by man's intervention of adding animals to it. I hope you maybe have learned your lesson by now, why there's all those crazy elk and everything running all over the place on that island where they're not even supposed to be. So hopefully that's the reason. I'm guessing that's the reason why you can't get the shrimp there. If you got down to realistic explanation, if you got like a real explanation, that probably would be the case, that like they would expect that somebody would let them out and then they would end up in the rivers and it probably would screw up the ecosystem. So yes, it does suck, but I don't know how to get around it. I guess there only is a way to get around it. I guess maybe being illegal, maybe an illegal way, or maybe just try to find some shrimp in your local rivers and the streams. You got to remember to stick to the, what is it, how does that go? Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Which one of those died? Was it Left Eye? I don't know. I don't know which one of the TLC died. I can't remember. Lecter Records wrote in. Oh, we have a super chat. Oh, we have a super chat from Bill Eldson. I can't say things or people's names today. It's pretty smooth. Bill Eldson. That is a bit of a tongue-tying last name. Thanks for the advice re-networking at the Aquatic Experience. You're very welcome, Bill, and thank you for the super chat. I very much appreciate that. That'll go straight towards maybe production around here, most likely, or maybe some Band-Aids for my boy Chips back there. My boy. He's so flopped down and looking super cute right now, you know what I'm saying? Left Eye died in a freak car accident. Was it a car accident or an airplane accident? I thought she crashed in an airplane. That's going to make me spit out my coffee. All right. We actually have two questions, statements, comments, whatever's from Wushu Jimmy Brown here. He's saying 3 days ago. As far as prints versus originals goes, there's something more personal about owning an original versus a facsimile, whereas the con is that prints allows more people to have access to your art. It seems like a much larger and longer running conversation than Darkstar Arts. Because you're a creator and you get the ultimate decision as how you want to distribute your art and how it will be consumed, so to speak. Right. I've had this conversation a lot of times, and I'm super happy to be able to field this question very easily. Okay, prints are a cheap and effective way for people to get into some art, right? Now, why I don't go into that field? Why don't I go into that field? Why don't I make a bunch of prints and then send them out for like $3 or $4 or $5, $10, $20, right? Now here's the deal. Almost everybody that would be interested in buying a print is pretty much satisfied by looking at it online. Plain and simple. It's just a fact that it is 2017, and getting to look at an image like on Instagram or Facebook or like on my website, Dark Star Arts. You can go to Dark Star Arts and check out some of my art there. I clearly don't have everything posted up there, but you can go there and check out a bunch of stuff. Most people that would buy prints are super happy to just have seen it. Honestly, that's just realistically how it goes. It's sort of the difference between buying like a vinyl record, right, in 2017, or listening to it on Pandora, right? Most people will just listen to it on Pandora and be cool with that. There are some aficionado type people that are like, I want to own the record and I want to own 2 copies of the record, so I have one that I can listen to and one that I can put away. Honestly, that's more of the type of people that I do art for and art projects for. Obviously, it is a little more expensive for people to buy the art and have it, but it will be a one-of-a-kind piece. There will be an electronic reproduction of it out there for people that like, oh, I want to check it out. Cool. You know, there are a lot of people out there that just want to look at sandwiches from restaurants. They don't necessarily go to the restaurant to go eat it. You know, and that's just a part of the effect that we have to deal with in 2017, is that most people are just electronically consuming the stuff that they're going through. And, you know, that's all good. Like, you know, and the way I look at it is like, so we have the Patreon, right? We currently have, there it is right there. We have 78 Patreonizers, right? People that are chipping in and watching the show and stuff like that. And you know, every live stream that I put up gets between 500 and 1,000 views. So it's like there's a percentage of people that want to support, and then there's a big percentage of people that just probably want to listen to something in the background or whatever, or like just get the knowledge and stuff. And that's totally cool too. It's all good. So maybe that kind of makes sense. Maybe I brought that together. I don't know. I feel like we're all dumber now for having listened to me. But I guess that's the quick and dirty explanation on why I pretty much only produce, you know, one-of-a-kind kind of stuff and don't worry about doing the prints. I already answered Esteban's question earlier this week as far as uploading all of the videos as podcast. I would love to do that, but I need more production time. And before I go to the next couple of questions we got here, speaking of production time, huge victory today. Winner! Winner! Chicken dinner! We have a winner. We have a winner, and his name is me. I finally figured out what was going on. There was the 2 connections came together. Boop, 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 like this, inside the computer, and conflicted between being able to run my mixer board, run my video card, run my video editing equipment, run XSplit, run everything without having to turn things on and off constantly, right? So if I was going to use my video editing software, I would have to disable my video card, believe it or not, and then be able to use my video editing software. Well, guess who finally figured it out today? This guy. Everything is working properly, and I'm about to add another piece of equipment into it and probably make it smoke and catch on fire. That'd probably be my guess, realistically, is what's going to happen. But as far as the production goes here, I'm acquiring a new MIDI processor so I can actively hit buttons while the show is on here and play sound effects. Now, actually, for more often than not, it's for sound production, but I could use it to do that if I really wanted to. Aquarium Cowboys here and can't stay. Oh, I'll be sure to check it out later. Of course, the stream. Okay. Oh, really? P Puffers? What happened? You can't get shrimp. At least you can get pea puffers. You can get them in Upside Down Land. Oh, I guess maybe you can get pea puffers in New Zealand, but you can't get shrimps. Where did he go? Where is the bearded fish keeper? Where did he go? People are asking him questions. Where did he go? I was asking him questions, and I don't see any chats from him. Left Eye burned her down her boyfriend's house, then she died in it later. Oops. I live right next to Idaho, so I go ahead and do it in there instead, but not sure if it's legal there. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Okay. Okay, I'll watch it later. Keeps breaking up and spinning on this phone. Oh, okay. Are you aware of the Count from Sesame Street is your doppelganger? Hard Cheese says, the Count from Sesame Street is my doppelganger. Now, I have to seriously debate that. Because I'm pretty sure that my doppelganger is Travis Bickle. I'm pretty sure that Travis Bickle is my doppelganger. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sure on whether or not it's the Count. Let me look this up here. If anybody knows who Travis Bickle is, let me put it in here. If anybody's wondering, that is the character portrayed by Robert De Niro in the movie Taxi Driver. And I just posted the name, how you spell it. Travis, Travis Bickle. The main character in Taxi Driver. Look that up, and then go look up a picture of me when I had my mohawk for the last 20 years. I actually have a nice haircut now, but I'm pretty sure I'm that guy's doppelganger when he was around my age. And if you think the Count is my doppelganger, go look at young Robert De Niro, and you'll go, what in the hell is happening? Because we even have the same mole right here. But yes, I have been Travis Bickle for Halloween. I've definitely done that before, and it's pretty convincing. So, yep, I've gotten it before. Jerry Todd. Who's Jerry Todd? I'm wondering who's Jerry Todd. Images. Jerry Todd. I don't even know who that is. I'm looking at pictures of this guy. I don't know who this is. What is he, like Canadian or something? I don't know. The Jerry Todd Show. Who's Jerry Todd? Oh, from SCTV? Okay, I'm going to look that up later. Maybe I am like that guy. All right. Hey, it's all right, man. It's all right. I can get a joke. I mean, if there's goofy whackballs that are a lot like me out there, I can take a joke. It's all good. I can tell you, I have a bit of a frustrating day today dealing with climate change deniers. It's been an ongoing nonsense argument on the old face pages with people that won't believe anything, and then it starts going where they're like, you don't even know how to read a graph. Like, okay. And then they're like, where did you go to school? Did you go to school? What was the last math class that you graduated, that you finished? And it just turns into this whole situation where you're like, dude, we can disagree, but why are you being a piece of shit right now to me? Like, let's disagree, but why are you consistently asking me whether or not I know how to read or know how to read a graph? Or, I mean, the guy keeps posting studies from NOAA, the National Oceanographic Association of America, where I have 3 close relatives that work there directly at NOAA at the main office, like I'm like, yeah, I talked to the NOAA people like at Thanksgiving, like what the You know, I don't know. It's just a goofy situation. It makes me think that, like, maybe I should just become Travis Bickle and drive around in a taxi cab. No, that's a bad idea. I got better things to do, like making fish tanks. All right, Lecter Records. See, here's how you correct me if I screw something up, right? Just for fun, he's correcting me here, and Lecter Records is always really good at correcting me and paying attention. A dolly is not a hand truck, right? Because we had the dolly and the hand truck conversation earlier, which I will rebut. I'm talking about a dolly in regards to what Vicky talks about a dolly or a hand truck. I differentiate the two. A dolly is a flat piece that has 4 wheels on it that you move that way. A hand truck has 2 wheels on it, and you use a point of leverage, a fulcrum, if you will, to tip back and carry large weight whilst you roll along the ground. But that was in the conversation in regards to what Vicky was telling me that she needed to go get. So am I wrong? Yes. But did I know what was going on? Yes, sort of. He also says a lineman never calls Kleins lineman pliers. That's right, but no one ever knows what the hell I'm talking about if I say Kleins. But people can look up lineman pliers, so that's why I would refer to them as lineman, and I would refer to them typically as lineman dikes. But if I say dikes, people start freaking out because I'm somehow being slanderous or something when they don't realize there are more than one way to use that word, because it is a real word. Let's see here. And lastly, a lineman never, ever refers to a power pole as a telephone pole. And he totally digs the channel. He's hooked. I love how you and Corey referred to iridescent sharks as gentle giants, because they are. I have 2, and they are growing exponentially daily. They are ridiculously polite to each other. Yes. Dude, I love that Lecter Records comes on here and lets me know what the hell I was screwing up on, because half the time I'm up here talking by myself for like an hour and a half, you know, and I'll run over things and say things wrong. But I will say that in Washington State there is a slight differentiation here in Washington, whether you refer to a telephone pole or a power pole. Typically, the power pole is the one that only has electricity on it, and a telephone pole would be referred to ones that have utilities on them. And that's just kind of a nomenclature thing, like whether or not you say soda or you say pop or you say soda pop, right? And all the areas say different things. You know, but I get what you're saying. Linemen would never call them that, but it's generally where I'm from in Western Washington, that's how they're referred to differentiate the two, because we have both here. We have hardly any underground utilities. It is really stupid, mainly because we have tons of trees around here, so they just cut them down and put everything up on poles. All right. So moving on, we've got a few more to run through here, and then we'll get with the live chat. Then we'll go on to the video. Damon Potter says, thanks for the info on the Fluval lights, Mr. Colvis. And you're very welcome. I love that Fluval Planted Plus 2.0. I don't get anything for referring you guys to get one of those or anything like that. I'm not selling them. I don't have any way to sell them. If you want to buy them, go buy them at the Aquarium Co-op. That would be the place to go. Or if you want to go to Amazon, you could go to Amazon and order them. But just make sure you go through darkstararts.com and click through the Amazon banner first. You guys have been super cool about going through the Amazon, and thank you very much. We're definitely getting the units up. The units are the big thing. You know, a lot of people ordering, you know, a lot of the basic stuff that they buy from Amazon, like dried pasta and you know, motor oil and all sorts of weird stuff that you guys normally get. That's not a big ticket item, but a lot of that stuff that comes through the Amazon definitely helps us out. And you know, if we did get to the point someday where where people are buying like 10,000, 20,000 things a month through that portal, I could probably just call Jeff Bezos and be like, "What up, bro? I need you to finance the show." And he'd be like, "What's the show, bro?" And I'd be like, "Here's the show. It's me farting into a microphone, flying around the United States, fixing people's aquariums." He'd be like, "Oh my God, that's so awesome." I'd be like, "You're right." I'm sure, I just mentioned farting. I'm sure somebody's going to hit the dislike later. That happened when I talked about farting in a jar. A whole bunch of people unsubscribed. I got pissed. Gary B says the Amazon show would be legit. That's kind of why I was talking about that. We had a bunch of people comment on the, we had Candy and Gary and a couple other people talk about the Amazon show idea. You know, hey man, that'd be great. I would love to do that. That would be fun. All right, Dubrexy21 in Australia, Bucephalandra and Anubias White are rare. I recently acquired some small stuff and paid an absolute fortune for them. Dubrexy, I understand. I feel your pain. I see those super expensive plants, and I feel like I gotta have them. One of the reasons I'm making this episode today is to show you guys that even with the super cheap plants, you guys can make a really cool aquascape. It doesn't need to be a really expensive adventure for you guys. You know, with something like Guppy Grass that is super common, you can get it super cheaply. It's almost always available. Any online store almost always has it. More often than not, places will ship fish or shrimp or stuff with it just in the bag, you know what I'm saying? So it's a really cost-effective way to get into some plants that will grow really well, even if your system is bare to none, basically water in a box, you know what I'm saying? You could probably grow guppy grass in a bucket. I've never tried it, but I'm sure you could probably pull it off. So that's one of the reasons for this video today. I understand what it's like to buy the really expensive stuff. I've been there, I've done that. It's not necessarily what you have to do. Lecter Records saying, oh shucks, I was hoping for a good public shaming for being a contrarian. No, hey man, I appreciate you guys writing stuff in. I appreciate you guys, you know, you go to the Patreon, you send in stuff, you send in questions. You guys are always contributing and stuff. I just look at it that way. I mean, if somebody's just being a total jerk, I mean, then I'll just delete it and you can just go away. But if I'm wrong and you got some stuff, like, bring it. Like, awesome, I appreciate it. I think it's rad, you know. Like, if I'm doing something wrong and people are like, hey, here's why you're doing something wrong, I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me figure it out. Let's go. This is all part of learning. Let's do that. You know, like recently I just had a post from Pamela Earlywine, who's ready to start her salt treatment in her species-only leach tank, which I think Pamela is here. I think I saw Punchy talking in the chat. Yes, there she is. I was presenting facts in a similar argument, and the person's response was that he hoped I bought a wolf pup and it ripped my throat out. Oh, Jesus. I'm going to answer that in just a second. But Pamela, your question here was, how many tablespoons per gallon of salt do you think I should start with? If you're talking about tablespoons or teaspoons, tablespoons, I would start out with 1 to 3, but I would work my way up to 3. So like today, I would do 1 tablespoon per gallon, right? See how we're doing the next day, and then do another one, right? Then do another one, because you don't want to adversely affect everything else in there. You just want to get rid of those leeches. So it's the leech tank. It's totally bonkers. It wasn't on purpose, Olympia shrimps. It was not on purpose. So we're trying to get rid of them. Some of them are beastly looking, and you could probably just pluck them out with some good tongs. I personally wouldn't. I would use tongs personally, probably just because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get those like microbes or something on my skin. But 54 Punchy, I was presenting facts in a similar argument, and the person's response was that he hoped I bought a wolf pup and ripped my throat out. That is crazy, and that is a crazy kind of nonsense sometimes I have to deal with on Facebook. And somebody asked me why sometimes I will invest my time into talking to people on Facebook, putting together some articles, showing people some stuff that's going on. And typically, here's the reason that I do it, because people are like, you're not going to convince those people to do anything, and I'm like, I never think I'm going to convince the crazy whack jobs that are like hiding out in a dark room somewhere thinking that everything is a it's like some kind of conspiracy theory. They're like these weird Alex Jones dudes hiding out in a basement. I don't think I'm ever going to convince those people, but there may or may not be some people in the middle, you know what I'm saying, that are probably going to read it. So those are generally the people I'm talking to if I'm engaging in those types of conversations, because there are there's a surprising amount of people that will just read all of the stuff that is going on those quotes, and hopefully those people in the middle will go, I'm looking at these two situation here, and I'm going to kind of go the way that seems right. Those are generally the people I'm talking to. Let's see here. Nick K, I have a rainbow fish that had a cottony patch on his anal gland like his poop. I tried to bet him to quarantine and med, and it fell off. I guess it literally scared the crap out of him. Oh, you tried to net him. Oh, okay. And it literally scared the crap out of him. Do you think he may have just been constipated? Yes, if you are seeing weird white poopy poop, you know what I'm saying? Like that weird kind of fungusy looking poop. Generally that is, I'm speaking generally here, folks. Generally that is something to do with constipation, and the easiest thing to do is thaw some frozen peas and throw a couple in there, and they'll eat them. And if they're not like biting at them, you can actually just kind of pop the pea. You can pop it, and that really helps clear out their constipation or anything that's in there. Woo! All right, we're running out of time, so we're gonna go to the video and keep talking to you guys, and I'll do my best to reply to anybody's questions. Oh, Jeff Myers was asking, am I the only one using Excel? Am I the only one using Excel to log my tanks? Probably right. Helps keep a record of parameters, and I can do charts without losing my notebook for the 7th time. And I forgot to answer this the other day, because I was going to answer this. Jeff Myers, if you're out there, I want to answer your Excel question. The Excel spreadsheet is a great way to keep track of things. It's what I always used as a chef. I used it for the longest time to constantly build all my formulas and all that stuff, and track everything that was going on. It is a great tool. It is very useful. I am terrible about using it for my fish tanks, and it turns out for me a whiteboard is the best thing. A whiteboard is the best thing for me to use because it's hanging up on the wall in the fish room. Maybe I'll show it to you guys sometime. Maybe I'll shoot some video of it. It's hanging up on a wall in the fish room. I can always update the stuff that's going on in each tank up on the whiteboard, and then when things get out of when it gets all filled up, I'll take a picture of it, and then I'll back it up on the cloud or onto one of my hard drives later on, in case I need to really reference something from a long time ago. But it works great for about 3 to 4 months to keep track of everything that's going on the aquariums. So I use a whiteboard. But if Excel works for you and that's something that's going to help you keep track of everything that's going on, I would go with that. I would definitely go with that. Is just whatever works, but Excel is a great idea. I never am going to come back into the office and log it in to Excel. I just am not going to do that, just realistically, and I also don't think a lot of other people are necessarily going to do that. All right. I think I got through most of the questions there. I think I got through most of the questions on YouTube. So let's go back here and let's talk about video of what's going on this 150 here. Aquaman made it for the video. Oh, hey, I didn't miss the video and your mad tweezer skills. Oh, here's some great advice from Rod. If you want a free similar product as Excel and you have Windows, you can use LibreOffice. You can save it in Excel format if need be. Yeah, the big problem with me trying to log things into my computer is that all my computer stuff is all everything's in here in the office. My fish room is all the way out in another building. So the chances of me like coming in here and then logging it all in are just really slim, probably because my own personality, that by the time I walk from there to here, I've encountered 5 other things that I'm going to do, you know. So I'll generally end up forgetting. Whereas a whiteboard, I don't even have to leave the fish room. I could just write it up there, and it works really well. Do you feel like Flourish Excel does anything? I'm not feeling like I see any benefit. Speaking of Excel, Flourish Excel actually does. It's just going to provide some free floating carbon into the water column. Glutarahydride, or however you say it, the glutarahydride. It does work well. It's definitely going to aid in the growing of stuff. It's fairly the only times I ever use it personally are to treat BBA. If I have a huge blackbeard algae outbreak, that's basically the only thing that that I do. Oh, Cycler Bro's got a great point. Mad tweezer skills might be a great t-shirt. That's great. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, nobody's got that, so maybe I'll have to make a Mad Tweezer Skills shirt. That'd be pretty good. All right. Do I have any concerns with potential toxicity from Flourish Excel? No, I've never had any concerns of it. I've dosed a triple daily dose for a week and a half at a time. And there is no real toxicity in Flourish Excel. I've never had anything die from it, never had anything negatively affected from it. I'm not sure what is going on with I'm not sure what's going on with the people that may or may not have to, what's the word? If they're dosing Excel and had a bunch of deaths, it may have had something that was counteracting with something else that may or may not should have been in the tank. I'm not sure. I've never been able to actually investigate what was going on with someone's deaths. Almost every time it has been somebody on the internet that is like, I don't know, I didn't test, but I put Excel in there and a bunch of stuff died. And you're like, well, that seems weird. So I've never really had a chance. I could never really had a chance to, like I said, actively investigate somebody else's, situation. Nick K is asking, what size is that? What size tank is that? And this is 150 gallons is what size this shrimp aquarium is. As you guys know, these are transitional shrimp. These shrimp are going to be housed here temporarily, and I'll begin selling them off fairly soon. We had so much trauma with them coming up here. I had so much trauma with moving them up here from Portland that we're basically gonna extend the timeline here from. I was gonna start selling them this week, but I'm gonna extend the timeline here to kind of recover the colony, probably over the next 3 weeks to a month or something like that, and start selling them off probably when I get back from Chicago. Unless I have small groups to sell off, I can sell some small groups to people or something like that. But we just had kind of a traumatic move. If you guys saw yesterday's stream. There was a bunch of video on that stuff that they were all just getting caught up in the system, and it just was not working out well. So now it seems to be working out just the way I want it to work. So we got some positivity happening. So we're just going to keep rolling with the positivity as far as keeping them in there for a while, and then just allow them to adapt, and then I'll start selling them off. What's that plant in the middle bottom of the wood? I would guess that what you're talking about there is that tiger lotus. That's a tiger lotus. It's kind of a pond plant. It's pretty fun. Oh, aquarium co-op ordered a Corvus Makes Me Poop mug. That actually came. That's badass. I wonder how it looks from Teespring. I hope it came out all right. I never did get to order a tester. That's one of the weird things I don't like about Teespring is that you can't test Fire One, you know. But hopefully it came out. Hopefully it came out good. I think you're the only one that ordered one. Hold on, let me see. I'd have to check. I didn't even think anybody had ordered one, as far as I could tell. Or maybe Vicky relaunched it or something. I don't know. I guess I'll have to find the link. It's on that other computer. Let's see here. Oh, I don't know why the aquarium coop's not a... I'll put the aquarium coop as a moderator so you can post links if you ever need to. Yeah, so that's a Tiger Lotus. I actually got that from the Aquarium Co-op, who's in the chat right there. If you're looking for Tiger Lotus of that variety, he's got it. I think he normally has that in stock. I don't think that's an aberrant, strange plant. I think they normally have those in. So if you're looking for one of those, that is specifically where I got it from. And I do highly recommend, you know, going to the Aquarium Co-op and spending all of the money you have on Tiger Lotus. Just buy all of them. Let's see. If these shrimp are only temporary, you're going to replace them with some of them there red and white ones like you had before. That's right, Cichlid bro. It's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm currently in negotiations with Rob from Flip Aquatics to see if we can't get the well, what I was specifically looking for is the shadow pandas were the ones I was looking for, and he basically got black and white, which people are referring to now as Taiwan bees, and he basically got the black and whites, and I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but for him to sell those off, or if we're gonna wait and see what he gets in next. So we'll see how that goes. I'd be happy either way. It should be fine. But if he knows he's got a possibility of actually just getting the shadow pandas in, then we might just wait. I don't have huge ants in my pants to essentially get the right shrimp to get them going and get them breeding out here on the West Coast. So I'm not like freaking out or anything like that. Currently right now, I'm worried about paying for my stupid website that decided to re-up today and go ahead and pull $200 out of my bank account, which is a little bit awkward when I was not expecting that. So I'm looking to fund that, and also the sort of the trip to Chicago right now is going to be the big deal. I want to have some stuff to hand out to you guys, so I'm trying to free up some money, you know, without taking a gun to the bank. You know what I'm saying? I got to free up some funds so I can bring like stickers or something out there. Otherwise, I'll just end up handing out Corey's swag or something, or I'll steal a bunch of Flip's swag and hand it out. Oh, I got all sorts of people texting me today. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a lot of people texting me today. Mr. Chips is not the only sick family member right now, so we got a lot of things going on. Let's see. What was it? I can autograph napkins and hand those out. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I think I'm gonna bring a permanent marker and you know, permanently mark something that people want me to write on if they do. I doubt there's gonna be a whole lot of people there that really want like my autograph or something, but I'm looking forward to like hanging out in Chicago and like, you know, eating some biscuits and getting weird and doing weird stuff and looking at weird buildings I've never seen before, and driving across bridges I've never bridged before, and maybe you know, ride the goofy train that goes around town and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. Rod asks, I switched from Prime to Ultimate as my water conditioner. I noticed a red film builds on the glass of my 29, which I use as my refill holding tank. Never had this problem with Prime. Any thoughts? I'm trying to think of what Ultimate... let's see. Which is the Ultimate dechlorinator? Ultimate dechlorinator. Oh, Ultimate's the Hikari one. Let's check. Ultimate water conditioner, dechlorinator, and ammonia binder. Oh, let's see what's in it. Let's see what's in it. Oh, Arm & Hammer baking soda, 50-pound bag. Oh, you can get a 50-pound bag of Arm & Hammer baking soda from Hikari. Weird. Let's see. Removes and detoxifies chlorine, removes and detoxifies ammonia, destroys chloramines, detoxifies copper and heavy metals, boosts alkalinity. Yep. I would just use Safe personally. If I was gonna, that's what I use. I moved away from Prime mainly because of cost. It's just super expensive to be using Prime all the time, and so I moved over to using Safe, which you know, that one, it's the dry version, and you know, that one bottle does like 30,000 gallons, so it lasts quite a long time, and I think it's like $9 or something like that. So it definitely was helpful as far as the price went, but I don't think that it detoxifies copper and heavy metals. I don't know off the top of my head, but it definitely does the ammonia, the chloramines, and the chlorine. It binds with them and eliminates them. It doesn't boost alkalinity, if alkalinity is what you're trying to boost. Adding essential electrolytes is nonsense. Adds a 3-part skin slime replacer. That's nonsense too. Reduces stress is clearly nonsense. Instantly ages water. That is also nonsense. Okay, so my recommendation there would be, if you're having some slight issues with that product, there may or may not be an extra additive in it that is causing that red slime. I'm not 100% sure. Red slime typically means oh, what's the word? Oh, crap. It was in my head, and it went away. Red slime is typically... Oh, where did it go? Red slime is not good. Let's just say that for right now, and it'll pop into my head when I don't need to know it. Let me look it up real quick here. But... Dun 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 dun, and I can't figure out what it is. Either way, red's not good. I'm trying to think of what it is. It's bacterial, and I can't remember what it is. So sorry. Well, I would guess that Prime would probably bind with some of. To answer Skyastara here, I watched someone stream where, and they said that you should wait 24 to 48 hours after Prime before adding Easy Green, because Prime binds metals needed by plants. That is probably close. I would probably. That sounds like that could be an issue, and I would honestly have to go prove that one way or another myself to say yay or nay, but I wouldn't be shocked to find out that that was correct. You wouldn't have to pick me up off the ground. Okay, if you're gonna switch back to Prime, I would. I've never had problems with Prime or Excel. Ever. I just never have. I've never encountered anything weird ever happen with either of those products. You know, one of the stores I worked in at one point in time, we had the 5-gallon buckets of Prime, and we would do all of the reef fish that came in would get Prime as soon as as soon as the bags were open, as soon as the box were open, Prime would be going in. Would be going in the bags to help them after shipping. What is this? I don't know. It's like people like just decide that they're gonna message the hell out of me. Like, I don't know. They don't know. They have some kind of extrasensory perception that's allowing them to know that I'm live right now. So that's why they're gonna suddenly message me about like furniture and stuff. Weird. Okay. So let's see. We talked about the Patreon today. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the Patreon. If you could head out there and put $1 on it, that would be fantastic. If not, then that would be fantastic too. We only got one super chatter today from Bill, who was thanking me on what the blowing up. Oh no, that's two different people. All right, let me read this real quick. Speaking of dechlorinators, if you remember, I might be having mini cycles, maybe from chloramine breakdown. My water company will not tell me how much they are dosing. Will this plan work? If I fill a bucket and dose as normal, wait 24 hours and then test for ammonia, redose and test again, will that tell me how much dechlorinator I need since the recommended dose is not doing the job? Lisa, that is exactly how I would do it. I would personally, in my experience, when I have had crazy stuff going on with water, what I do is I'll go down to like Home Depot or something like that and get a brand new garbage can. As you guys know, I use garbage cans for mixing my salt water, for measuring out certain water changes, certain things that I'm doing with water. I use garbage cans, right? Because they hold like 40 gallons of water. They cost like $15. You can get a wheelie dolly. You can get the wheelie dolly action for them and move them around even if they're full. And very helpful. So that's what I would do if I was you and you continue to run into this problem. I would just be doing that ahead of time, like the day before. I'd fill up the garbage can, put a little pump in it, and do the dechlorinator in there. You could even run just an air line into it. Pretty simple kind of stuff that you could do with that water. That's what I would do, and I would get it ready ahead of time. I have to do that with my reef anyhow, so it's not the biggest ordeal for me to go like, oh, I got to put some water in this bucket and take care of it and da 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 da. So I know from personal experience, it's not the biggest headache in the world. It's obviously not super convenient, like just sticking a hose into the tank and doing your water change. But that's what I would recommend, and probably not too big of an investment. Like I said, you can even sometimes find a garbage can on sale, or maybe you could just even get a smaller one. I know that like Brute and I think Brute is one of the companies, and Rubbermaid sell like a 32-gallon one that's maybe a little bit smaller, but I think those ones are only like $15. And if they're not on sale at Home Depot, they'll be on sale at Lowe's, if that makes sense. Wow, cool. Thanks, Classical, and thanks, Jimmy. Let's see here. About Prime affecting metals from plant fertilizer. If it doesn't bind the metal ions, it would release it when Prime breaks down. Prime has a half-life of under a day in water. Yeah, I've heard Prime has a half-life of even, under 20 minutes at times. So, but like I said, I would have to literally test that myself, and I don't have a lab here and don't have any intentions on building one just to test someone else's product, so I don't know. The easiest way that I've found to dechlorinate your water, the cheapest way I know how to do it, is fill up a 50-gallon bucket, put a heater in it, and put a big power head in it, and allow it to agitate. If you get some air going in there also, that will dechlorinate water on its own, and you would need to add any chemicals to it. That is the easiest way to do it, and just let that run for like a day or two, and the chlorine will evaporate out of the water. Nisi says, do you know only the awesomest fish keepers hit the like button? Oh yeah. Hey guys, remember to hit the like button. You guys hit it yesterday, and I appreciate it. But remember to hit it today. because that's important too, right? The like button. We were talking about the like button yesterday. It came up, and I guess it's important to hit it because the robots think it's good. When you hit the button that the robot people put up there, then they get excited, and then they get all zazzed, and they love it. It's just like their favorite thing. Where did the stupid... Come on, button. I'm pushing the button. Go to the thing. Okay. We have two quick questions here from the YouTube that are super long, and we're going to answer those real quick. And we're definitely at the end of the show here, so I'm going to be doing this at the end and try not to get distracted by your guys' live chat too much, because we're an hour and 10 minutes in and nobody extended or anything, so I got to get this thing done here so I can start making a video for the weekend. All right, Esteban said, I don't think you can find some good in all the bad things that happen. I lost my dog a year and a half ago to something that sounds a bit similar to what your pupper has going on right now, and I still miss that crazy dog every day. No greetings at the door, and it just sucks. There's no reason, there's no upside, there's just pain. Life isn't fair, and it's not a balance between good and bad. It just kind of is what it is, and we have to move forward. I really hope your dog recovers and you two can have more good years together. You lying awake at night reminds me of the bad times I had when my dog was not well and I had a double hernia. I wish you the best of luck with him. All right, I do want to address this, and I want to say, first off, I'm very sorry to hear about your dog loss, and it can be brutal. And in a way, I definitely have to disagree. I don't think the platitude that you know, everything in this world happens for a reason, because more often than not, that platitude is just people saying something, if you know what I'm saying. It's more or less just people saying, like, stuff happens, shit happens, you know, and things along those lines. I do honestly believe that everything will work out. Everything will work out to some degree, and the reason for that is I try to take every lesson that I learn and apply that to the future moving forward. And if unfortunate things are happening to Mr. Chips, which hurts me inside a lot and makes me really sad for him, maybe I'll be more prepared in the future for an old dog may or may not having back problems. As you guys know, we didn't raise Chips. We adopted him old. He was an old dog. We adopted him when he was old. But maybe we can apply the lesson here to possibly taking better care of a small dog's back in the future. I don't know. I can't really explain how I necessarily look at everything in the world. Some bad stuff just happens. But can I apply a lesson that I learned from the bad things happening to something that that could either prevent something bad happening in the future, or apply that lesson to while something bad is happening in the future? A few of the times that I have gotten into serious physical altercations in my life had to do with you know, defending somebody else, right? And you know, that worked out badly for me because more often than not, I got super injured in the thing, but it was what I was supposed to do at the time, and I was ready for that because of all the crazy nonsense that had happened to me before, right? So all that crazy nonsense happening meant that I had the opportunity to help somebody out in a really bad situation. So not to say that that's like a great way to relate to anything in the world, but that's just the way I look at it. And I look at, like, ah, man, this shitty stuff happens. Time to correct that behavior, or at least take that lesson and to the next time something similar happens and be able to address it better in the future. And Wushu Jimmy Brown sent in a very cool message here just a couple of hours ago, so we're actually going to get at it, answer it on the live stream pretty quick here. He says, obviously, I only know you from your live stream, so everything afterwards is from that perspective. I think you might have fun with the store for a little while. Long term, I think you would have to continually find ways to keep yourself interested in it. If you can reach the point where you could take a more hands-off approach to take on more projects, like your idea to go out and revamp or set up aquariums trims for deserving people. However you end up defining that, I think that would help. Instead of 7 days a week, I know various specialty stores that are open 5 to 6 days a week, with regular hours only open on Sunday via special appointment. I hope everything turns out well for Mr. Chips and your family. Vent or rage when you need to, laugh when you need to, and cry when you need to. I wish yours and the best of luck. Thank you very much, Wushu Jimmy Brown. It's some great advice, and it's something that's pretty dope to talk about. I will agree with you that there is a point where a store would start to drive me nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would just get kind of bored with it. But I'm also the kind of person that would constantly be rebuilding it and fixing it and repairing things and trying to do things better as any kind of owner of a business. I've been privy to run businesses in my past, and that is essentially how I tackled those projects, to try and do the best I can, even though we're almost always making the same food and making this and da-da-da-da. The day in, day out doesn't bother me, but I do have a bunch of other projects. So the idea that that has crossed my mind, as far as if for instance, Vicky and I do end up opening some kind of storefront at some point, I'm going to run it as a combination of a store and a wholesaler. Not necessarily a wholesaler, but a breeder is essentially what, in my head, what I would do. And have it open to the public probably 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week, depending on how it would work. But I don't, what's the word? But I wouldn't want to be there 7 days a week. That would start to drive me nuts if I'm there 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, because I'm hoping that a customer is going to wander in, you know, Monday at 7 o'clock at night, right? I don't think that's an effective use of the time. But if you are open 3 days a week or whatever, you can definitely do some long hours and accommodate people. If like nowadays you have the internet and everything like that, people could email me and go, hey man, I can only come in on Monday night. It's like, okay, I'll meet you out there Monday night at 7 or whatever, or I'm there Monday or whatever. So that's kind of the thought process I'm having. I hadn't really put too much thought into doing a store or anything like that. Vicky's the one that brought it up. And so I was kind of hit over the head with an idea and trying to search out exactly what I'm trying to figure out how to do. If that's something that we're gonna do, I don't want to just go wandering into it like I've got no ideas or anything like that. I want to go in there going, oh, okay, I've got an idea, and then let's see if we can try and to implement this idea or not. Okay. Oh, the fishy mailman with a $10 super chat. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, I'm doing it right here at the end with the $10 super chat just because it's payday for me and I've been on staycation and catching all the streams. Thanks for the great week of streams. Hope all the life pet things get better. Hey, everything is great life-wise. There's some health concerns and those things going on. They will be addressed. Luckily, you know, I live in a country where it's like you just go to the doctor. You know, worst case scenario, they'll be like, you owe us some money, and you're like, okay. So everyone's going to get treatment. The dogs have health insurance. We have health insurance. Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. There's just some unfortunate things happening. So they'll work out. Like I said, they'll work out one way or another. You know, the Earth, planet, rock will still be here. whether we're here or not, it'll still be here. You know, as George Carlin used to say. So we gotta keep that in mind. We gotta keep that in mind. I've got so much good stuff going on that I'm not down in the dumps or any of that kind of stuff. We'll just be working on getting everybody healed back up and make sure that it's good to go. Let's see. He would have to get off my bed. Oh, the cat would eat most of the dogs here. Unfortunately, he sleeps all day, and that would be too much effort for him. Let's see. My cat is massive. All right. My other dog's 125 pounds. That's a huge dog. Oh, Rurutu's here. Rurutu lurking in the background, being very sneaky. He's been very quiet lately. I don't know why. Maybe I made him mad. Who knows? But the Fishy Mailman with the super chat, and Sergeant Tank Jeremy with the super chat, man. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I appreciate it. Let's see. Sergeant Tank. Oh, sticker was like sticking off the bottom of this chair, and I just yanked it off. Yeah, so the and then Fishhead 2925. Thanks for the Amazon link. Yeah, be sure to check out the Amazon link, and we're an hour and 20 minutes in here, and I really want to run through the Patreons because it is Friday. The patronizers. Why isn't it loading? Because it's being dumb. There we go. All right, we're going to run through the patronizers super fast here. Let's see how fast I can do it. Let's see how fast I can read it. All right, everybody down here in the $1 club, we've got Jeremy Brown, Donnie Hill, Barbara Jackson, Karen KZ Ellis, Andrew Radion, Gary Brown, Greg Erikselben, Ryan B, TJ Kelly, Famous Jones, Debbie Clayton, Michael Hoffman, Chris Cuse, Devin, Arsenal of Color, Douglas Medellin, who got mad at me for calling him Douglas Medellin yesterday, Margaret Ferris Parr, Kathleen Epler, Riverlife, Ian Van Natter, Wyan Hickson, Derek Runyon, HC Aqua, Dean Feldman, Christina M, Allison Berenger, Teresa Cookie, Spencer Ballard, AMA Aquatics, Matthew, Priscilla MK, Jeff, and Thomas. Whew! That's all the $1 people. Up here in the $5 club, we got Kevin Keener, Jennifer J. Sarchicino, Nisi of the North, Pamela Earlywine, Bracken Ward, Classical Aquatics, James Hirsch, Frank, Catherine Ann Robideau, Jesse Stenner, Dennis Ballard, Dean Hanoi, Theodore Schultz, Lecter Records, Addison Nishijima, Karen Halbert, Kevin Hayes, and Gene Fensky. Up here in the $10 club, we've got Joel Gillett, Miguel Cam, Jim Meeker, Candy Overhauls, Pleco, Steve, Eve Deigel, Jeff Myers, Tim Lewis, Kyle Paith, Pax, Denzel Gregory, Nick K Aquatics, Rob Hicks Aquariums, Matt Gilmet, Jack Betts, Cichlid Bro, and M. Den Hollander. Here's the tippity top club. This is the VIP. This is the VIP club. All up in the VIP club is... Oh, I have to kind of scroll through here a little bit to figure out who's who. Okay, because people have changed their patronization. We've got Long Woo, $20. Sashimi Whiskey, $20. The Fishy Mailman, $20. And a super chat today. The Fishy Mailman. Kieran Egan, Vince Grippa, all at $20. We've got Cute Nix at $25 a month. Cute Nix. Amaze. Then we've basically got a two-way tie here. Eric Gone Mad at $49.99 and Steven Skoglund at $44.65. I know that I guess Steven Skoglund will be third. Eric Gone Mad would be number 2. Speaking of Eric Gone Mad, his painting is finished. His work is done. I was going to bring it in here and show it to you guys, but it was horrendously pouring down rain and windy out there, and I could not bring it in here without getting it super soaked. So sorry about that, but hopefully he'll post some pictures of it. I'll post some pictures of it. I know I did on I posted up on Facebook and Instagrams, so I guess check those out. And let's see here at the very tippity top, we've got the Aquarium Co-op at $250 a month. Thank you very much, everybody, for patronizing and kicking in. I know that we're short our goal, but we passed the no more advertising goal, so we've got 10 more days to make it to the end of the month, where the advertising should go away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we've got 11 days because there's 31 in this month. We have 11 more days to get to the end, to get to the very end of advertising coming up here, and then we're going to be very reliant on you guys to share it out there, hit the like button, you know, all of the stuff that everyone is supposed to do, but I'll be hyper reliant on you guys and the Patreon page, and that's the way we want to do it. We want to crowdfund this thing and have it I want this show to be like for you guys and stuff. So if you have questions and things that you guys need help with, and stuff along those lines, that's the whole reason we're here. It's a community, right? And if we're not a community, then I wouldn't really want to be all that involved in it, honestly. You know, I don't know that I really would have kept doing YouTube if it wasn't for like the community stuff, for you guys, fans, and all the kind of cool people sending stuff in, and just generally being badasses. So I'm gonna keep on keeping on. You know, I know Corey and I were talking about it the other day that the show would definitely detract and get smaller and all that kind of stuff if we can't fund it, because I'll just end up having to be out on just to piss off Lecter Records. I say I have to be up telephone poles. I'll be out there up telephone poles trying to fix people's stuff, because people's stuff's broken. So I'll be up a telephone pole with my lineman pliers. I'll take my dolly out there, right? So it's because of you guys we're able to do at least the 5 shows right now. I hope to continue doing them ad nauseum for a long time. And I do want to keep doing this a long time because, you know, when I started doing YouTube, it was sort of like, it was a lot clunkier than it is now, and that there really wasn't very much back and forth interaction with people. But now that we have like the live chat and all of that kind of stuff, all of that kind of stuff, that we'll be able to keep going and have this good open lines of communication and learning from each other. And you know, before you know it, it's one subscriber at a time, as I said yesterday, taking over the world. Sergeant Tank, whoa, I'm using your line. What's your line? I don't know. Do you have a line? Let's see. When you're live streaming, we miss you. All right. Yeah, and don't forget the Amazon banner, and hopefully somebody gets super inspired to hit up the Patreon, because yet another stupid bill came through today where they extracted $200 out of my account to keep my website up. So that was depressing. It's like the once every couple year $200 charge that just like, oh, we just evaporated the money out. Like, oh crap, it's not really much going back. Oops. All right, so let's all right, we're going to end it for Friday. I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday out there. Staying super cute, staying super fishy, and hopefully maybe you all go out there and get some guppy grass and start scaping your aquarium, because that's a great, cheap way to do it. I don't even know if we really explained much about that plant or talked too much into it. So if anybody is super confused about the guppy grass and want to know more, let's go ahead and message in. And the Patreon is the easiest way to do it. And maybe I'll put together a mad tweezer skills shirt while we're all gone for the weekend. And if y'all are lucky, I might put up a small video this weekend. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens. Later. Oh, extra shout out for Sergeant Tank here at the end, Bill Eldson. That's a super hard name to say. And the Fishy Mailman for the super chat. All right. Later.